So I'm going to be doing a lot more videos in the upcoming month or two. I've been wanting to do this for a long time. But one of the reasons that I haven't is actually one of the things I want to talk about today. So this year has kind of kicked my ass. I'm not sure if everybody knows here, but earlier this year, I had a shoulder surgery. And the day after my shoulder surgery, my grandma was diagnosed with cancer. And so I helped care for her. And then she died, which is anybody who's dealt with the passing of a loved one knows how all-consuming that is on top of, end of life and cancer care. So this year's been tough. I'll be the first to admit it. And, I put a lot of time and work into Fearless Fresh and into the Fearless Cooking Club. And that means that something has fallen by the wayside. And ironically, that is my diet, which means that I have not been cooking very much for myself over the past, June? So the past 6 months or 5 months since February when all this started happening. And so, my diet has slipped a little bit. And I'm here to tell you that this happens even to the best of us, right? I'm a professional chef. It still happens to me, just last week, I was at Trader Joe's and I was like, awesome, I'll grab a thing of frozen tortellini and a little tub of pesto, right? And that was easy. And I'm really fortunate because I have a significant other who does some of the cooking even after he works all day, which I really appreciate. And I don't know if he knows that I appreciate that as much as I do. But I'm just really busy and, surprisingly, even though I deal with food every day, the first thing to go when I've got a lot to do is cooking and eating. So, I'm here to tell you that it happens to all of us and there is no shame in occasionally going to get a little package of frozen tortellini and a tub of pesto. The goal is to not make that your regular everyday go-to, right? Because we all know what happens when we start living off of processed food or frozen food or takeout food or fast food or any other kind of food that is not put together by real ingredients in our own home. And even though I am sort of knee deep in the thick of this very problem myself, I've also started setting up sort of systems in place to make sure that I have healthy food available to me when I need it. When things get too busy, when I the first time I look at the clock during the day, it's 6:30 and I'm like, oh, I need to eat something and it needs to not be in and out. And one of the biggest and easiest things that we've done here in our home to accommodate those busy nights when everybody's too tired to cook is on the weekends, when we do have more time and more energy, we'll make, real dinners, we'll make spaghetti sauce or we'll make, a casserole or something really good and tasty, but we'll purposely double or triple the recipe and throw a ton of it in the freezer, right? So if you were to look in my freezer right now, you would see 5 things of spaghetti sauce and 5 little containers of the beans I just made the other day. You would find half of a steak. I made a big steak, and that's just sitting in there ready to turn into a steak salad if I want to do it, right? And so a big part of making sure that you eat healthy when the shit hits the fan in your life or just everyday life is busy, right? If you have kids, if you have a full-time job, if you've got some of us are working 2 jobs with, tons of commitment and responsibility and children and caring for parents. And, that's not even accounting for the crap that life throws at you when you're not looking, your dog gets sick or your kid gets sick or you get into a car accident, right? How the hell are we supposed to feed ourselves healthy food in the midst of all this? And it just requires a little bit of planning, and I know a lot of people, planning sounds impossible for some people, and I get it, right? But if you've got a couple hours on a Saturday or a Sunday to make something like spaghetti sauce, that's something you can, make a half gallon of or more and freeze it and put it in the freezer. Right. So, if I were to right now in my freezer, I think I've got probably a month's worth of dinners, healthy dinners ready to go that I just need to pull out, defrost and put together really fast. So we've got spaghetti sauce. That's one of our go-tos because it freezes really easily and it takes 10 minutes to make pasta and you've got dinner, right? You grab a bag of salad and you've got a salad. Another one that I just made are beans. I made some beautiful beans, dried beans from scratch. I made them on the stovetop, but you can easily make them in a slow cooker and you just set them before you go to work and they do their thing when you're gone and they're done when you get home, which is awesome. And those are really handy because we do have nights where we just do eggs and toast for dinner, right? We have a bakery nearby that sells a bread that I really like. It's a whole grain bread. And for dinner, sometimes we'll just throw scrambled eggs on that and call it a day. And to really bump that up and make it healthier and more complete, I made these beans. And so now on our eggs and toast nights, which actually a great fun night. I actually really like eggs and toast. We have beans we can put on top of it, homemade fresh beans. Or there's, a million other things that you can put on top of eggs and toast too, right? If you've got Like sometimes you'll have like smoked salmon in the fridge, just like hanging out. Like that goes great on eggs and toast. If you have, like salad greens that are kind of hanging out and you need to use up, you can toss those in a saute pan for like 30 seconds. They wilt and you can put those on your eggs and toast. And eggs and toast can actually be like a perfect blanket canvas for a healthy dinner, depending on what you put on it, or even if you eat it by itself. Like it's like eggs and toast, honestly, is way better than like running out to McDonald's, right? Like if you look at like the health factor of like what you're eating, eggs and toast comes together in like 2 minutes. It's way cheaper than even, Burger King, and it's way better for you. So, that's my pretty much easy go-to trick. Just a little bit of planning and, just taking advantage of the times when I do have the time and energy to cook, to really cook big quantities, large amounts, like extra sauce, extra meat. Like if you're finding that you're browning hamburger for something, like brown like 3 pounds of it and then freeze them in little like 1 pound bags or half-pound bags and throw them in the freezer. And so if you're like, oh, I want to make something, but like, I don't know, all I have time is to make like a thing of rice. Well, okay, so make your thing of rice, grab some of that frozen ground beef, heat it up in the microwave really fast, toss it with your rice, so throw some greens in there, and you've actually got a surprisingly healthy dinner that you made yourself. It took very little time and effort. So maximizing the times when you are cooking is really important to making sure that you always have healthy food around. And then also like looking at what your quick and easy options are and making sure that you maximize the nutrition there, right? Like I said, the eggs and toast and adding like sauteed salad greens on top of it. Like that's like a 10-minute dinner and it's surprisingly healthy. So that's it. If you have any questions or comments, go ahead and leave them below here. And like I said, I'm hoping to do more of these videos. I'm going to try and do one every day for the next 30 days. We'll see if that actually happens because life, but that's my goal. So if you have any questions, go ahead and drop them below and we'll get them answered. Have a good one.